Hey everyone. So I'm going to be documenting the next few days. I got the COVID-19 vaccine today. Today is the 18th of December. I got my vaccine at 12:30 today. I got it in my left arm, and I still have my Band-Aid on. Actually, I will go ahead and take that off. And I don't even have a bruise or anything there. But the reason I'm videotaping the next few days is I want to show you guys that there's really nothing to be fearful of. So right now it has been close to 6 hours since I've got my vaccine. So about a quarter of a day. My symptoms right now are a sore arm. To be completely honest, my flu shot hurt more than this. I sincerely think that by this time, a couple hours in, maybe 3 or 4, when I got my flu shot, it was way worse. I am currently out of town. As you can see, I'm in a hotel room, traveling for work, but I'm still maintaining all of the normal social distancing, washing my hands, wearing my mask, because even with a vaccine, it doesn't make any guarantees. And with the COVID-19 vaccine, you have to take 2 vaccines, not one, to about 21 days apart. So my vaccine is scheduled on the 9th of January. So I am very much looking forward to that. So just to kind of show you where we're at, it is December 18th at, it's almost 7. So it's been 7 hours since my vaccine. And to show proof that I was vaccinated, this is a copy, not the real one. The other one's home in my safe since I'm traveling. I will show you that this is the record of my vaccination, and you can see the date. Sorry, I'm trying to see it. You can see the date right there, and my next one on the 9th. So a little bit about how the process worked. I showed up and got the email through my hospital system, who was going to administer them to us as considered high-risk professionals. So I had the email a couple days ago. I signed up, and we are one of the first in our hospital system to get them. So I've been seeing posts from my friends all day who've been getting them. And the ones who got them either yesterday or the day before have been doing great. My area is a very high population of COVID patients. Currently, my hospital system probably has about 250 patients throughout all of the hospitals. So we're hitting very, very hard. So that is why we were approved so quickly. So you're seeing it all over the news, but people are doing so well so far. The very few reactions I think that people have seen supposedly in the trials are the anaphylactic reactions. They're happening in people with allergies already. So they are recommending, if you have severe allergies or a history of anaphylaxis, that you do not participate. But that's generally the same with a lot of different things, that if you have hypersensitivity to meds, allergies, to drugs, that you don't quite jump on the train for a lot of new products that haven't been tested in those populations. Other side effects reported were Bell's palsy. And I had this discussion with somebody earlier today that the research study that had 44,000 participants saw 4. And I want to clarify this for a second. If a patient that's enrolled in a trial shows a certain kind of reaction, or they come up with a kind of manifestation of another pathology, they can't always prove causation by the particular drug, but they usually can assume that it might be correlated. They still have to report it, even if it's not directly caused by the vaccine. So 4 people in 44,000 had Bell's palsy. If you do the math there, that makes it a 0.0001% chance of getting Bell's palsy by getting the vaccine. 44,000 people is a huge sample size, guys. Huge. So for all you people that have been chiming, you have a 1% chance of dying from the disease. Well, guys, you have a 0.0001% chance of getting Bell's palsy. And Bell's palsy, even if you were to get it, is temporary. You have a greater likelihood of getting Bell's palsy from a virus in the community than you will from this virus. So I just wanted to kind of say that you really don't have to worry about that too much. So about this vaccine, it seems like it's really, really rushed directly to market, but I wanted to clarify that as well. So generally speaking, drugs and vaccines in standard situations, they go through a lot of red tape. There's a lot of bureaucratic bullshit that goes into developing things. This means trying to get funding for the research, doing the long amount of research that it takes, the development of these, the animal trials, then the human trials, trying to find humans that will say, hey, yeah, sure, stick me with this new thing. Go ahead and stick me with it. Imagine that it's kind of hard sometimes to find people to enroll in certain trials. Now, in the United States, we had warp speed happen, so unlimited resources, no real timelines. That opened up a lot of money, and because this is such a sensational thing going on, and a lot of people are dying, there's a lot to lose. The economy's taken a huge hit. There were a lot of participants. 44,000 is a massive sample size. I mean, you look at any real sample or study that's out there, you may see anywhere from 2,000, 3,000, 100 or so, maybe a couple thousand. Over the course of a few years, yeah, okay, I hear that, but there's still a couple thousand here, a couple thousand there, 10,000 here, 20,000 there. 44,000 is a huge sample size. It's a good sample size. So it's not a bad one. Having the money, but not only that, this was not one single company working on this or one single institution. This was worldwide, and they were sharing information. So this was a collaborative effort across the world. The world just stopped, paused, and started working on this together. So I know it's really hard to believe, but when you have this collaborative effort, you remove the red tape, you get huge amounts of money and participants, and not only that, but this research isn't necessarily new. mRNA research has been going on for a couple decades now. I mean, you've got Zika virus, cytomegalovirus, SARS-1, you've had also MERS. So, the research has been there, the theory has been there, the technology has been there. Think of a computer. You've had this computer for a while. Maybe you'll do an update here and there and there. So maybe my MacBook, I've probably updated it 3 times since I've gotten it in 2018, 19. But the thing is the technology has existed. The research was there. We just had to do a couple updates here and there with the code. So the research isn't new. It didn't just appear in March or February. It's not that new. What's new is the virus that they inserted. And what's also awesome is that we have the first set of DNA that came out with this virus. So we have the parent one, the very first strain. We have the first strain. That's awesome. So there's a lot of hesitation about, am I going to be really sick after it? It's hard to say. Everyone reacts differently to everything. Some people get sick as snot after the flu shot. Some people are just fine, walkie-talkie. That does not determine whether the vaccine is going to make you sick. It's an individual thing. It doesn't mean the vaccine's bad. It doesn't mean the vaccine's great. It's all about your body and how your body's going to react. It's just like corona itself. Some people, it could be a 90-year-old who walks out just fine, never has an issue with corona. Then you have a 40-year-old who's perfectly healthy and dies from corona. Everybody's bodies are different. You cannot judge your experience based on the person next to you or that person that you've seen. Anecdotal data is not evidence. You got to look at the research. 44,000 is a huge sample size. Another concern that I hear come up a lot is, are we going to need a booster? Maybe. When I had corona back in March and April, I had antibodies that showed up when I donated blood in July, but by September they were gone when I went to go donate blood again. So it's hard to say. We got used to having to do a booster or a flu shot every year. It may be for a little while we're going to have to do that until the virus either disseminates out of the community or it loses its strength. Already there's been reports that the virus is just not as strong as it was when on the first strain, that as it mutates, it's losing its efficacy. It's hard to say. But what I do know right now is if we start looking that far in the future of, well, do I have to get another one? Do I have to get another one? We're not looking at the present. The present is seeing 3,000 people dying a day. That's extreme. What is going to happen is you're losing potential buying power by people not being able to spend money because they're dying. I guess support small businesses in the way of, funeral homes are being supported at least. But the economy will continue to tank if we lose buyership. The hospitals are going to be overwhelmed because survivors are surviving because of the fact that we've had resources. That has to be considered. We've survived this because we've had the resources to survive this. We've had ventilators, we've had rooms, we've had nurses. But what do you do when your nurses are getting sick, your doctors are getting sick, The rooms are all taken, and every nurse has a full assignment. So you can have as many ventilators as you want, but if there's not a nurse to take those patients, what do you do? So we have to do everything possible to take care of it now in the present, because if we overwhelm the hospital systems, people will die. It's not that they're dying of the virus, it's that they are not surviving the virus that we have found treatments for. So people have to consider that. And you have to also consider, even if you don't die, there has been a significant amount of research that has shown that anywhere from projected 60 to 80% of people who've had corona have some kind of long-term effects or long-term acute illnesses. Heart damage, lung damage, strokes, kidney damage. This virus isn't just the sniffles, guys. It's not a cold. It's not the flu. They're not even the same family. The virus itself is causing issues with clotting. It's causing issues with scarring. I myself am now inhaler dependent. We got to do everything we can. Sore arm, headache for 3 days from a vaccine, totally worth it. If it means I'm not going to kill somebody I am going to be transporting by breathing on them, I'm totally all for it. Obviously, this is just my personal opinions. These are my personal experiences based on the research I've done. Everyone has to do their own part and research for themselves. But I hope at least hearing from somebody that you know and hearing from somebody that you trust, who's not bought and paid for, I'm not a talking head, I hope at least maybe this will give some people some assurances. But really, guys, get out there, do your own research, reliable research. Stop listening to Facebook, guys. I did a report on the misinformation on Facebook. 20+% of what you guys are sharing is not true, and 70% of you are sharing it. Stop it. Stop going to Facebook. It is not checked. Even with the fact checkers on Facebook, it's not true. Go out, look at the research. If you don't understand something, ask somebody to help. It is okay to be wrong, and it is okay to say I don't know. But what is not okay is for you guys to keep spreading misinformation. That is not okay. Anyway, I just want you all to know every life is important. Even the people that are losing their jobs because of this. But the faster we can get over this, the faster they can get back to work, the faster we can reopen the economy. None of this is okay, and there's a no-win situation. Either people die or people lose their jobs. Let's get back together, to do this all together, and try to get back to doing life like we always were meant to be.